What's up, guys? Welcome back. It's Auburn here, your Tech and Games Crusader, and today we have another unboxing. This is a Thermaltake Level 20 RS ARGB full tower case. It's built-in two 200mm fans on the front, and this thing is massive. It's loaded with all of the typical RGB goodness. As you can see, we have 4 tempered glass side panels and top and front panels, which is 4 millimeters thick. Or actually, there's 2 rather. The front and the other side are the tempered glass panels, or the front and the top. And it is addressable RGB, which is what ARGB stands for. Works with Asus Aura Sync, the Gigabyte RGB Fusion 2.0, the MSI Mystic Light Sync RGB, and it should also work with the Ace Rock RGB as well, just because it's very similar to the RGB Fusion. So, looking on this case, as you can see here, it is a tower design. You have mesh on the top and on the front. So your 2 side panels are where your tempered glass are. Says it's a mid tower, but it is a very large mid tower. We got the 2 tempered glass panels that we've already gone over. Has 2 200mm Thermaltake addressable RGB fans in the front that are 600 RPMs, 24 decibels. Rear 120mm fan that is 16 decibels at 1000 RPMs. Then we have drive bays here, 2.5 by 2 or 2 3.5 drives. So either 4 2.5 inch laptop drives or SSDs, or 2 3.5 inch standard hard disk drives. Then we have accessible. Then the hidden are 2.5 by 1 hard drive back bracket, and then 2.5 by 2 or 1 3.5 inch hard drive bracket on the back of the motherboard tray. We got expansion slots 8. Motherboard size, mini ITX, micro ATX, and ATX, as well works with an eATX board, because that would just be the depth of the board, not the length. We have I/O. It lists as 1 USB 3.0, 2 USB 2.0, a front panel connector for high definition audio, and an RGB button. Support for fans is the front can hold either 3 120, so a 360mm radiator size, 3 140s, which is a 420mm radiator size, or 2 200s. And then the top, 3 120s, 2 140s, or 1 200. The rear, just 120, unfortunately. Would rather have seen this be 120 or 140 size. And then here it lists also your radiators. The front can do a 280mm or 360. Top can do a 280 or 360. Rear can do a 120. And the right side, if there's no hard drives listed, can do a 360. So your limitations of height for your CPU coolers is maximum 172mm. VGA length is with drives in 282mm. Without hard drive rack is 400mm. And then the maximum power supply length limitation is 220mm. This is a beast of a case to move around. Alright, so here we have the Level 20 RS ARGB RGB control button, which is right next to your hard drive activity light or system activity light. And this is just listing modes and things like that. You can do single colored, lights off, full lighted, breathing, radar, RGB lighting, flow, and wave modes. This should just kind of be an overview. Oh gosh, it is definitely heavy. Got my trusty dusty, not so rusty Radio Shack driver that I use for opening boxes. And this case costs at Best Buy and most places $180 plus tax. This came from Best Buy. So let's see the condition of the arrival opening for something this large coming from Best Buy. I do like that it has cord foam, and it is single wall here, dual walled here, but it's all intact. So that's the important thing. One of my Minter guys. There we go. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and take a look at it. Yeah, as you can see, foam here, really good condition, no tears or anything, just a pressure right here from the back plane area, this top ledge of the case. So I love, first off, that it is a mesh design. So I would put it up probably against the design of the Thermaltake, the HM500 mesh, because we got first, here's the instruction manual. Let's go ahead and lay this down. So we have a peel panel here for the tempered glass. Thumb screws on the back, typical. We have a single tempered glass panel, and then as you can see, the other one is on the back side. I'm just going to lay this on the bed right now. Typically I would put it inside the case and put the packing material in the case or in the box to separate the panels. Not case, but we have a fan controller here that takes a serial ATA connection. We have 2 drive bays that are removable, as it said on the outside of the box. Here is our hard drive sleds. Twist ties holding this in. It's probably also all of our hardware, possibly a speaker. So here we have some extension cables here. There's an addressable RGB. You can tell because it has 3 connection pins, but a space in between. And then VDG. This looks like a connection for registering voltage. It probably says in the manual, so let's check in the manual. Contents, we got specification, accessories, warning and notice, installation guide, leads, installation, other. Okay, so we have all the things that we mentioned on the outside of the case, or outside of the box for the case. Accessories, we have standoffs, which are, we already have some standoffs already in. We got screws for the PSU, for hard drives, for SSDs and motherboard, and 2.5-inch SSDs, and riser cable. A nut setter, so that's cool. That helps to keep from stripping the nuts whenever you're inputting standoffs. Case fan screws, 200mm fan screws. You got 12 of those, so that's cool. It means we can be able to put more fans in there. We got for strip stand, PSU cover stand, VGA bracket base, 2 ones of those. Bane of my existence, cable ties, aka zip ties. They deserve just to be recycled, not even be used. It does have a motherboard speaker, so that's awesome. And then that looks like a signal bridge cable for the RGB. Is what those 2 cables are. One is a standard 3-pin, and one is a gigabyte special cable. So, yep, there's a bunch of things that deserve to be recycled. Whole lot of things. So this case, as far as the finish on it, I don't feel any really sharp areas, so that's good. I mean, about the only sharpest thing in here is on these. But that's because it's thin mesh covers for the expansion covers. feel like I'm digging through a cereal box for a prize. And the prize is something I don't want, which is a bunch of these. That's all that's in there. As you can see, here's our 4-pin speaker. Some boards have them standard already built in for premium boards, but most of the boards nowadays don't even bother to include any sort of speaker with them. Alright, going on the back. Yep, that is definitely only 120mm. Because if it was 140, you would see like an area out from it that could fit a larger size. The cool thing that this case does, some people may be interested in, is this entire part comes out and it rotates. Same thing with your power supply area. These 4 screws, take those out, mount your power supply, slide it in, you're done. So I'm undoing the 4 screws here that hold in the back I/O expansion area. So now this comes out. You got these 2 screws, this screw right here. See if I can get this out, or if I have to get my toolkit. If I have to get my toolkit, that's fine. Timber! Case box fell. Now, when you know it, I'll lift another 2, 3. So these screws have to come out as well. But even after reaching my hand through, I've still not cut myself on this case so far. Knock on wood. Let's hope it stays that way, because I am on blood thinners and nobody wants to see me be a bloody mess. Especially not me. Now, alright, what am I missing? Let's go ahead and lay it down on the side. Aha! That's what we're missing. So, we'll go ahead, remove the back panel. I'm sorry if this is getting bounced around a whole lot, guys, because I have my phone on a Kinect thing, as you can see. And that's how I'm supporting being able to hold it while I'm doing videos. The other panel on the bed. So here we do have the Thermaltake fan controller and RGB controller. The Thermaltake designed for only Thermaltake fans because it is a 6-pin connection. So if you want to use any other fans on the case, I would replace this. What I've been doing is getting a Silverstone 10-pin fan connector hub and replacing these, because they will directly screw up to the spacing of the Thermaltake fans, or the Thermaltake controller board rather. There's the power for that. So here is the motherboard back plate hard drive mount for a 3.5 or two 2.5 inch SSDs or hard drives. Just goes on the outside of it. Those are already undone, which means let's go ahead and take a look at the rear, or the bottom of it. Looks like we have one filter that goes for the full length of the bottom. You got the grill here that covers the power supply, and then you have here where you could be able to put fans for a 240mm radiator. Unofficially, that is. So it does not list support for it to have foam on the bottom of the feet. And the feet are screwed in. We have right here 2 more screws that are locking us in. So it looks like to remove the vertical bracket for the PCI Express slots, these are on ledges. So we just slide these forward and they should come out. So let's go ahead and try that. After we get those 2 screws out. they just come right out. 2 screws are still in that little bracket. All right, what are we missing here? Should it be ready to finally come out? Ta-ha! I just had to apply pressure because these right here were holding it in. So what can you do with this? Well, for vertical mounting, you can try. Let's go ahead and bend this back. Now, instead of doing it like this, like most people would think, I'm going to do it like this. That way it brings it back even with everything else. And that way I'm not, grinding on it and causing it to break. So you see these slots right here. These go there. And the next slide down. Just like that. Then what do you do up here? I'm glad you asked. You got your bracket that would normally be over here. Just sit it right back. Put your thumb screws in. You're good to go. Now it's set up for vertical mount. Does not mean that your motherboard has to be angled or turned or anything. All this is your expansion slots go here, and then they would you would have riser brackets and cables off of the motherboard going to this right here, which would screw in the bracket up to 3 different cards could go on here. Just like that. And then you just screw that back in. And that's how you change it from standard mount to vertical mount. So let's say that you want to put, just take out this hard drive tray right here and just have a radiator right here or fans. Well, to continue along for that journey, let's go ahead and go to the back. Show you how to unscrew this hard drive tray. As well, you can be able to get more hard drive trays directly from the manufacturer, Thermaltake. So technically, you could have 2, 4, 6, 8 hard drives in this off of that one area. Now, this would limit your ability to have a longer graphics card, as well as any front-end cooling that is not just fans, but actual liquid cooling radiators or open loop water cooling. Which would mean then the only part you could do for water cooling would be either your rear 120 millimeter or your upper area for up to 280 millimeter or 360 millimeter in length. So let's take a look at the top panel here. All I did is I put my thumb here, applied pressure, and pressed up. Don't want to press too far because it is angled in to the front over here. And this is 2 parts to be able to get out. So let's do the front part first. Now, to remove the front part, let's take a look and show you here the type of connection that it has. Right here is a pinch connector. Then the top connector for pinching is right here. The bottom pinch connector is right here. What you would do is once you pinch those, that side will then loosen up to where it can pop out. Or, you know, the He-Man approach is, oh, I'm just going to put my legs around the bottom of it and just haul off and pull. Just like, don't have to pull much. You find a leverage point. I put my thumb here and I pressed, put my thumb here and I pressed on the side. So, do the same thing again with the back. There, that one came off. We can see here we do have mesh. That is a fan filter. Inside. So that's pretty cool. Well, how do you get it out to clean it, you ask? By my accounts, you undo these 2 screws for this RGB LED, and then it just rolls out. But that may not be right. It could be that it's not meant to come out, and unless you just, flip all of these bracket holds on the mesh up to then get this panel out from the top. And once it's out from the top, you lift this off and then you can take it out to clean it. It's an interesting design. I'm not sure I agree with all of it, but that's here and there. Well, let's go ahead and turn back around. Okay, I finally found a part of the case that is sharp. Right here. These are sharp. This is not as sharp, but it is got places where it feels like it was shaved down. So, sharp warning right here, here, here. Also here. These are areas that you could be able to use for routing fans through that are on the top. My question is, will this hold a 200mm fan on top? If it does, it may be these screw holes right here. This one to this one to this one to this one. That's if it does, because it does not say that it does. Alright, so on the front here, you can see we have our RGB strip at the very top. Button impresses. Let's go ahead and get this front panel off. So we have here the Thermaltake RGB fans. They are basic Thermaltake ARGB fans. It's what they like to use on everything. I personally would replace these with Fanatec's 200mm fans that aren't RGB, but that's me. There are also other RGB 200mm fans that are really good. Like one of the better 200mm size fans that are RGB is not Corsairs, but Cooler Masters. The Master Fan 20 series. The good thing about this is it is mesh. That is the same kind of filter as in the top. Also, if you don't like emblems, this can be pried out. I've done it with every single one of the Thermaltake cases I've gotten that had this kind of an inset emblem or badge. It's not that hard. But where this case is not for me, this is for my housemate Bounty V. I just figured I will leave it as it is. And then whenever I finish doing this overview and unboxing, we'll go through and get everything packed back up, take pictures, post on Twitter, get the video uploaded, and give it to them. So the cool thing is, I see right off, if you do not use a full 200 and 200 fan size, this is a 5 1/4 size bay here. You could put an LED display here, or if you still used a drive of some sort that is 5 1/4 inch, like an optical drive, it would fit. It would just be, you know, behind this, because there is no optional change out this panel to have this part open. But I think it's where they're recycling the older case frame from different designs that did have a panel. This is very similar to the design of the what was it? The 71 Core 71. It's very similar to that design, but this is a level 20 series instead of a Core series. But yeah, guys, looking at the top here, your front I/O is actually on the sides of the top, which is pretty cool. So here on the open side, is the power. Our system activity light, the RGB light, mic, and headphone jacks. Then on the other side, we have two USB 3.0, two USB 2.0 that are plainly listed. So there's no USB Type-C, but that's okay. Remember, guys, welcome back. It's Auburn here, your Tech and Games Crusader. Sorry about that. I had a phone call, medical stuff I had to take. And whenever I paused it, it interrupted and went ahead and saved and ended it because of the length of time I was on the phone call. But as we continue here, we see we'll have our front panel connector right here. We have hard drive LEDs, power LED for plus and minus, power switch, and LED button. And then from there we have trying to see. One of these is USB 2.0, one is the HD audio for the front panel, and one is USB 3.0. But that just about wraps up this case, guys. Should be an interesting build for my roommate, housemate, and friend, Bounty V. Hope he enjoys it. And guys, if you guys enjoyed the content, give a thumbs up or a like. Consider subscribing to the channel to be able to know whenever I have future videos that go live. The other thing is right here we have area that can be able to use for cable routing, as well as the end right here. And then up here, up and over the back for edges. Right down there. It's easier to see if you turn it over. That's what this and this are is for, is cable routing. But yeah, guys, if you feel that you want to support the channel by subscribing or tell someone about the video, if you have interest in this case or any others, just feel free to comment in the video down below, ask a question, and I'll try and get to all comments as I receive them or as I see them, and respond and as soon as I have an answer to supply. But yeah, guys, this is Auburn, your Tech and Games Crusader. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys have a good night, good day. Take care. We'll see you later.